eDocs is an application we put together for people like yourselves, anybody that has hard assets like paper maps or enlargements or other things that are packed away in boxes or filing cabinets or on hard drives somewhere. And I guess our general philosophy is if we could pin those to a globe somewhere, it would be a far more efficient filing system and give us better access than if they were stuffed in a drawer and it took a specialized person that knows the system to dig them out again. So go ahead and advance the slide there, Josh. One more. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if we could link all of these assets, our aerial enlargements, our maps from different parts of the organization, other historical photos or contact prints, just about anything, design drawings, CAD files, things that are not located on Earth where they belong or where they reference to. If we could link those assets to a globe and give them geospatial intelligence, it might help us answer questions we have or do planning more efficiently. It also would just, free up space in your offices. I know many county engineers and others have rooms full of this kind of asset that can virtually be eliminated. Filing these documents, retrieving them, and then making sure they get back to the right drawer or the right file cabinet is also a problem. This eliminates that because there is no refiling. Likewise, we can retrieve these documents because they're in digital form, because they're searchable and findable. We can retrieve them and use them instantly. When we can tie these assets into a geospatial context, we also might be able to extract more information and context from them in that environment. And of course, I know a lot of offices that actually have staff dedicated to working with these types of physical assets. And so some of that staff would no longer be needed and can be freed up to do other more productive things than just go find documents and refile them. It also enables us to integrate all of this material in new ways that you've never been able to before because they were limited to a drawer somewhere. So that's important, and we'll talk more about that later. Once this stuff is digital and accessible in a web browser, and we'll see this in a minute, there are, again, new opportunities as far as serving customers. If your customer is the public or perhaps other engineers or professionals, it's nice that we can provide a terminal or a web browser, a website, so that they can access all this information at their will and at their leisure. The data is archived, so the data is protected and is preserved for perpetuity. We can reproduce them. These can be printed, saved off to a PDF or a JPEG or whatever on your hard drive and done with whatever. CASB 34 is important in some organizations, and this certainly will facilitate compliance with those federal regulations. Everything that we're going to talk about is all just very standard technology. What we bring to the table is just an intelligent combination or fusing of ESRI technology, .NET coding, ASP, and just browser technology into a very simple and elegant application. Go ahead, Josh. Basically, all of this is possible using common tools like large and small format scanners, databases, browsers, GIS software, and image compressing, whether it's JPEG 2000, JPEG, or Mr. SID type technology. Next. I'm going to try to quickly just go over this so we can actually get to the application, so you can actually see what these concepts I'm describing will look like in final form. But basically, the way something like this would begin is to sit down and design the application so it works with your data the way you like to work with it. Every organization has different types of assets, and they're related to each other in unique ways. They currently work with them and retrieve data based on associations with one another in unique ways. So we'll work with you to design exactly how this stuff is retrievable and can be used to facilitate making decisions. As that design unfolds, we will test it with yourselves and the typical users to ensure that along the way it makes sense and is going to be as efficient as possible. But then this graphic here shows the different types of assets or documents, again, whether they're physical documents or they're digital documents, that can be integrated and that we have integrated in the past with other clients, from bridges to road signs to USGS monuments, design drawings for pavement, different roads, GPS monuments, driveway inventory, etc., etc. We've got high-speed scanners, both large and for large documents and for 8.5 or 11 by 17 documents. We'll scan those. We enter data attributes associated with each of those documents into a modern SQL-based or Microsoft Access-based digital database. We'll then add geospatial intelligence to each of those by assigning them a coordinate, basically, and so they can show up on a map and be retrieved with in a browser using technology like ArcIMS. Next slide. Next slide after that. So that's a real quick overview of the type of technology to create the applications that you see here. We've created several of these for different organizations, and if you go to the next slide, we can just look at some of the ways it works and some of the features of this. It's important for me to just real quickly share with you that the screenshots we're going to show you now were designed for these organizations with their data, with their relationships between different data sets and the way they like to work with it. So these may not be appropriate to you and your environment, and that's okay. That's the power of eDocs, is that we can customize them to fit your environment and your data. But this screen here quickly just shows us bridge details. Now I can't see it's not very clear on my screen. It's probably about the same on yours, so it's readable, but just barely. But basically you can see that we've got a menu down the left-hand side for site navigation that takes us to the different types of assets and search tools, maps, etc. On the right side, we have some panels that show two important things, or three important things. One is the attributes associated with this one bridge, and I can't read those there, but there are any attribute about a bridge that might be important to your organization. On the right-hand side are blue links that you can see that are actually photographs